We continue our reading of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus, an invitation to spend a year with your best friend, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading is June 18, Two Rocks. Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. The powers of death shall not prevail against it." Matthew 16:17 and 18. Peter's sensitive ears must have been overjoyed to hear such a promise coming from Jesus. A real blessing indeed. Simon Bar-Jonah translates as Simon, son of Jonah, Peter's formal name. And Jesus has no doubt that the Father, through the Holy Spirit, had revealed Jesus' true identity to his disciples. At that point, the blessing moves into one of the most contentious passages in Christian history. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the powers of death shall not prevail against it. The question is, who or what is the rock that forms the foundation of the church? Was it Peter, the man, or Peter's confession that Jesus is truly the Christ? In beginning to answer, we need to realize that the text makes a play on words in the rock statement. The Greek text reads, "You are Petros, and upon this Petra I will build my church." Josephus uses Petra to describe the massive stone blocks in the towers of Jerusalem. Wars, chapter 6, verse 140. Petros, on the other hand, represents an ordinary rock that one can carry. That understanding lines up with Ephesians 2:20, in which Paul describes Christ as the cornerstone, and the prophet and apostles forming the rest of the foundation of the church. Then again, if Jesus had made Peter the chief disciple, that would have put an end to the ongoing argument about which of them was the greatest. That may have been what Peter wanted to hear, but as we shall soon see, Peter wanted to hear a whole lot of things that Christ never intended. What he did hear is that his confession that Jesus is the divine Christ is the very foundation on which the Christian church is built. And even the powers of death would not be able to stop Christ's church. His power over death in the resurrection, first introduced in Matthew 16:21, would make even shaky little rocks strong as they realized that as long as they were with God, people would do nothing to harm them. They, and we, have nothing to fear. We serve a risen Lord. So just to be clear, the Greek text, you are Petros, Petros, and upon this Petra, Petra, I will build my church. So Petra, Petra, describes the massive stone blocks in the Tower of Jerusalem, whereas Petros, Petros, on the other hand, represents an ordinary rock that one can carry. So this concludes our reading today of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus.